we finally have gameplay of Marathon, so let's talk about it. So Bungie is making a serious comeback with Marathon. It's a fresh take on the extraction shooter genre that's equal parts stylish sci-fi and hardcore survival. Looking at the gameplay, you gotta forget the slow, methodical, I can't say that word, methodical gameplay you might associate with extraction games. For example, Tarkov, you play it much slower. This game is a lot faster. And it's fast, it's brutal, it's actually really visually stunning. And one thing that I've noticed watching it is everything's square. Like your inventory is a bunch of squares, your guns are squares, everything's square. So I was memeing about it while watching the live stream, which I did a live react to it, and it's unlisted so you can't really see it on my channel, but I have a link to it down in the description below if you want to watch the reaction live to it. So if you want to check it out, it's up to you. But it's set on an alien world of Tau Ceti IV, where players take on the roles of runners, which are cybernetic mercenaries who've ditched their humanity for raw power. And the mission is to dive into the deadly zones, grab whatever loot you can find, and extract before someone or something takes you out. And so at launch, Marathon is dropping with 3 maps and 6 runner classes, and it'll be a premium title, not free to play. And that is actually, in my opinion, a good thing, because one thing with free to play games is they get easily plagued with a bunch of cheaters. So having a price tag could deter some cheating in the long run. It's not going to prevent them, but it'll make it so that it costs money to cheat for them. So, they might not cheat as much. Who knows? Hopefully not. But Bungie wants this game to stand tall on its gameplay and world building, and from early previews it's kind of clear that they're aiming really high. So each runner comes with their own unique stats and abilities, and it gives you plenty of ways to customize how you approach missions. For instance, there's a class called the Locust that they showed off. Hopefully I can find the footage. I can't really remember what each character is, so I'm probably just going to run the gameplay in the background. But there's a character called Locust that has a front line with a shield. And then there's a character called Void who goes into stealth mode with smoke grenades and stuff. And Blackbird, who is a scout who scans the map like Bloodhound in a sense. If you played Apex, you'll know what I mean. But there's 3 maps, and the map that we saw in the reveal apparently supports up to 18 players, which is crazy. So you're going to be getting into a lot of PvP action, and you can roll in solo or up to a squad of 3. So it's going to be pretty fun, I think. So, and each one is packed with unpredictable chaos. There's AI enemies called UESC. They actually think, and they attack you and they suck your blood, which is really unique. And there's also going to be rival teams that will happily ambush you mid-loot, and environmental challenges like a dynamic weather or shifting objectives, which I think we get to see a little bit of in the footage, I think. So the stakes are sky high. If you die, you lose everything, of course. But if you make it out alive, you get your stack of loot and you get to make yourself stronger for the next run. And so the loot system itself is more than just gear. So they talk about how you can loot implants, perk things, of course, guns, grenades, ammunition, artifact things. I don't fully remember what they said because the stream was at 2 in the morning for me. I'm in Japan, so I can't fully remember, but it's going to be pretty exciting. There's rare prestige cores that you can change how to move or interact with the world. So there's a core thing that, if I remember, I can't remember the name of the character, but there's a character that has a double jump perk, but you can make it triple jump. And then there's another one apparently that makes you go invisible while you're looting, so that's really good as well. And if you played Tarkov, if you played those other extraction shooters, you know about the quests, you know about the missions from NPCs prior to the match. So Marathon's not going to be so different. There's a contract system that adds like a semi-permanent progression, where if you complete objectives, you unlock better vendor access and then you enhance your baseline loadout. And so these touches keep the game from feeling like a pure roguelike grind, because those same vendors give you free loadout runs, so, which is something really important, especially for the casual player base. A way that you don't risk anything. And so that's something that the Cycle Frontier had as well, which I really like. And something that reminds me is this game's overall aesthetic kind of reminds me of the Cycle Frontier. Like the, if you ever played the Cycle Frontier, you'd know what I mean. Like the AI, like the exploding ticks that you see in the game, they kind of remind me of the Cycle Frontier in a good way, because I actually enjoyed the Cycle Frontier before cheaters ruined the game overall. And yeah, the devs couldn't really handle the cheating epidemic that happened, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. The game is RIP. So here's the thing with this game, right? Even if you die mid-mission, you can still earn experience and reputation and perks by fulfilling those objectives from the vendors. And there's also apparently going to be hidden secrets in the map as well. So it's going to be something pretty nice. It adds a layer of you didn't win, but you didn't totally lose to every run. And then Bungie also promises like a deep seasonal content, including apparently, hopefully, maybe like a ranked mode, seasonal story arcs, an evolving map, and community-driven events. But here's some kind of twist, right? So each season resets your loot and progress, just like other extraction shooters. It's a system familiar to a bunch of other extraction shooters where each new season there's a wipe, so everybody's back on the same equal playing field. But that is something I heard. I don't think it's fully confirmed if there's going to be wipes, so take that with a grain of salt, okay? Because I'm not 100% sure on that. And of course, it's Bungie, so the gunplay is really, really good. And you probably see it on the background footage as well for the game. The gunplay is just crisp. Even if you're shooting with a bunch of cardboard boxes, the gunplay is just so nice. But, you know, combat isn't just point and shoot. It's about like strategy, timing, and coordination, especially because you have abilities. A fight can be won or lost based on, one, your shield strength, your use of status effects like overheat or poison or toxic or whatever they call it, and how well you manage your tools. And the AI, apparently it's really good, like scary good. They have, you know, the swarming tick-like monsters, the security bots, and more that we haven't really seen yet will keep us on our toes when human players aren't around. And that said, there are some concerns. So previewers mentioned that objectives like hunting down computers or marking dropships, they could start to feel a little bit repetitive. And with just a few maps at launch, there's worry about whether the game can stay fresh over the long haul. 3 maps, of course, with an extraction shooter, having a few maps is usually okay. But we shall see, especially with how ADHD most of the gamers are nowadays. And so the 3 maps is a worry. Hopefully it can stay fresh over the long haul, so we'll see how they plan. So Bungie's plan seems to be slow and steady, just make sure everything's good kind of progress. So maybe we'll get 1 new map a year, and existing maps might get refreshed in between, who knows. Whether that's enough depends on how well the existing content holds up to hundreds of hours of play, especially because the streamer landscape is kind of crazy, right? The heart of Marathon, though, is tension. It's a white knuckle feeling of trying to extract with everything on the line. And the thrill of that last second escape with your teammates get downed behind you, or, you know, the heartbreak of getting outgunned at the finish line. It's not a game that is designed to make you feel safe. It is designed to make you feel. So winning or losing, every match is memorable, hopefully. And if Bungie can deliver on the rest of its promises, Marathon could end up being one of the boldest shooters in years. Or it could be an absolute flop. I've been reading some of the comments on like IGN videos. Of course, yeah, IGN videos, everybody's negative there. But they're all like complaining that it's an extraction shooter. They refuse to play extraction shooters, etc. And it's concerning, especially because people are calling it Concord 2 already. And I don't understand why people want to assume that the game's already going to be terrible when we haven't even actually been able to play the game yet. So it's something that I'm going to be looking at with optimistic hope. Because one, I like extraction shooters. They're really fun. There's just, you know, a lot of the times cheaters ruin it. So it's the player base that's the problem, honestly. Like, stop cheating. But if you follow me for Fragpunk content's not going to stop. I just want to expand my scope, play multiple games just so I can dip into like multiple game markets, hopefully. So don't worry, if you're here for Fragpunk, I'm still going to be posting Fragpunk. I just want to also post Marathon as well, and potentially other games in the future that might come into rotation. Who knows? So this is the end of this rant. Once again, it is a very unscripted video, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!